Hello dear friends, viewers and trolls who's gonna be blocked. Today is the April 5th 2022, and initially I came to this lovely place, beach there, to make update Life Without Narcissist. But then some things happen, and to cut long story short, my mind really started to work on three different things. Original update, things which are coming again and again and again in my mind, which is the Bucha massacre in Ukraine and some footages I found there, which really cuts into that whole story of psychopathy and narcissism. And see, I stumbled upon an old friend of mine, Tina, who suffers from schizophrenia, and just spoken with her maybe not even 5 minutes ago. What a heaviness. It really progressed. It really seriously progressed into form of not really completely disconnected, but traumatized and a verbal salad. So I simply decided to do this update completely, if you wish, intuitively, and tell you that basically I'm planning new updates. And first update I'm gonna make is the update on psychopathy in practice, which is happening now in Ukraine, and which ties with the whole this discourse which was dragging through all of my updates. And long time viewers gonna know this is the practical psychopathy, narcissism, borderline disorder, alcohol abuse, and the way how human systems are working. It's gonna be tied with that. And my major theory is that humans are 90 till 95% per average conditioned to do horrible things in war, because we live in such a mind control society where alcohol and drug abuse is rampant and normalized, and that very little is needed to push neuronormal people into doing the most horrible horror type of shit. Another thing which really comes to my heart is lupus in fabula, meaning wolf in a story. Tina, the schizophrenia and the rampant and insane rise of mental diseases, which is of course being speeded up by the jabs, not jobs. And jobs on its own is basically, it's a big word, is controllable schizophrenia. But what is happening with people with vaccines, it's simply speeding up the whole mental breakdown. And in all that mess, I'm experiencing maybe the most positive period of my life. Yes, there are circumstances. Yes, sure. I am like 1 or 2 steps away from homelessness, and I'm not homeless thanks to very significant other in my life and her family. Somebody really embraced me wholeheartedly, and that's how I have a roof over my head. So there was a very lucky turn in my life, very lucky turn. And then thanks to that lucky turn, I can experience something which is coming very normal to people who are not blessed by being targeted individuals, and people who are simply not cursed by life with a narcissist. And now I finally start to understand how life of somebody who is not living with a psychopath, who is blessed with a job he or she can do without the stress, and a family. Now I'm starting to grasp that concept, how a life, let's say, of Manuela looks like, and it's fucking paradise, honestly. If I'm experiencing only 1/3 of it. This is that I live in apartment with one very shy guy, and he's okay guy. He's making no problems at all, apart from funny noises from his room when he's singing for himself at a weird time of night. But hey, if that's all, I'm very happy with that. So uh, only life without a narcissist, even if you have like very basic, but very basic is a lot. Only life with like that is a really beautiful life. When I'm approaching my apartment, when I'm one floor down on the floor fourth, I don't experience the dread I was experiencing when I was living with my mother. As soon as I would be like one floor, I would experience the heaviness. Now I don't experience that anymore. Second thing is I can use the whole apartment, not only my room. I can enter the kitchen and do something totally normal, but for me, absolute fucking luxury. I can cook. I can finally cook. And I love to cook. And I'm learning how to cook. And step by step, I'm learning more and more. And fuck, I love it. And another thing is life without narcissist is, apart from cooking and not having us approaching the apartment, is you don't have this energy loss anymore. There is simply not that constant negativity, bitching, drama, and you know how it goes. There is simply not, and nobody simply freezing, digesting my energy. So more and more energy start to accumulate, and thanks to that, more and more coherent thoughts. And thanks to more energy and more coherent thoughts, what started to happen is finally I started to look optimistic ahead of my life, like, yeah, there is a future, and future for a change actually can be positive, weird as it sounds. It can. And it's like, when was the last time when I experienced that positivity? Like, last time when I was away for a month or more away from a psychopath, or any psychopath in my life, was in 2009, 2010, only like 1 month per year camping by the sea in Kavran, in Istra. And this was the only time when I experienced being away from psychopaths, schizophrenics. Father was alive back then. He was functioning schizophrenic, functioning alcoholic, which is perfectly normal, even requirement for the Croatian working class. You must be alcoholic. Otherwise, there is no job for you, because social strata is like this. Of course, everywhere you have reptiles, illuminati, psychopaths, right? And here we have this class of uhljebi, which is the privileged class of people who work for the state and in corporations, office jobs, and they are like story of their, special story, really, borderline low consciousness but intelligent. And then you have Croatian working class, and Croatian working class is only and only functioning alcoholics, meaning controllable schizophrenia. So he was like that. And if you're poor, if you're born in this kind of class where I was born, even without education, you can only be worker. And you cannot be worker unless there is a beer in your hand and a cigarette in other hand, and uh, and your thoughts must always be on the bookies. Always some amount of money have to be placed, for football betting that day, because after work you're gonna go to the local pub and you're gonna drink beer already drunk, and you're gonna watch this big flat screen, and because your money is there, right? And if you're not that, fuck you, you're weird. So he was like that, normal Croat, alcoholic, and mother was a typical uhljeb, teacher. And teacher is the sleaziest extension of the government. That's what it is. and so good to be away from them. So good to be away from them, man. So the pressure from my chest start to lift, the pressure of my shoulders start to lift. I don't have to listen what I expressed again, which means I'm so sad, oh, fuck you, it's all your fault, fuck you, every day. And I don't have to listen narcissistic verbal salad every day, and I don't have to listen, oh, what's gonna happen to you when I die, you're gonna be homeless, because now I already experienced homelessness and it sucks, but at least I know how it feels like. And there is one thing I really wanted to speak about. Croats, they have this amazing misconception which evolves around one thing. We Croats, we are so warm, and the Western Europeans, they are so cold. That's such bullshit. Croats and Eastern European Slavs, they are cold as fuck, and actually Western Europeans are much warmer, much nicer. I'll give you two examples. Example number one, let's put away, from the whole discourse, the conspiracy and all that. Simply let's observe people sociologically as they are. I experienced nothing but the contempt from ethnic Croats when shit hit the fan, and that mirrored the non-existing help from the state in any shape or form. It's been already 2 months. I didn't receive any form of help from Croatian state. Filed documents for help on the February 9th, and everything what came as a help came from either citizens of Croatia but non-ethnic Croats, or from my friends from abroad. So I'm sorry, Croats, if you're watching this. We are not warm, loving people at all, and we are definitely not people willing to help another human being. That's fact. If anything, there is this need, oh, somebody's drowning, oh, let's help him out. Oh yeah, okay, he's dead now, good job, he's not suffering anymore. That's more like Slavic way of helping out fellow human being. Just watch what is happening in Ukraine right now. So yeah, I kind of don't fit in. I never did fit in the whole culture, which I already explained as being a surrogate of narcissism and schizophrenia and functioning alcoholism. Beer, fag, lottery. That's the holy trinity. Beer, fag, lottery. That's the whole Slavic Croatian trinity. That's what it is, my friends. That's exactly what it is. Okay. Yeah, for the end, I really have to add that actually the only institutional help which came into my life came from the Catholic Church, from Caritas, which now goes under different name, Socijalna samoposluga. This jacket and this came from that, and food as well, which is coming mostly from Spar Corporation, which is German-run corporation, food chain. Because why the fuck would Croatian food chain give anything for the homeless and poor? It's not the Croatian way. So yeah, I have to say, there is always exception which justifies the rule, and this is the Catholic Church. And in one moment I kind of came too close to the whole thing. I went to a couple of holy masses and I started to volunteer in Caritas, but when I came too far, I did sense the Illuminati presence, and I just could not socialize with them anymore beyond this point. Although I liked people on the bottom of the hierarchy, which are empaths, which are willing to help other people, because as I said, they are exception which justify the rule. But then on the other hand, really didn't feel comfortable to proceed more than that, especially when I sensed vibes of some people, and even got like very strong intuitive warnings not to expose myself further. So that's it. That's all I have to say for this update. Life without a psychopath is definitely feels like vacation. Feels, we have this natural self-healing capability as a souls, even when we are squeezed in such a small containers like these human bodies. And that's why Matrix constantly needs to harass us and observe us. He's looking at you, kid, from Casablanca. Now you know what that means. That's a code. So, oh, look who's there. Hey, hey, Dishy, 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 Dishy. Bom dia, Malidetko. Look who came. Look who came. Look who came into story. Huh? Šta je bilo? A beba. Oh my god. Always for the end of the video. Small cat came to big one. Ej, šta je bilo? Šta si ljud? A? Šta si ljud? Šta si ljud? Šta je bilo? I guess this is the end of the video now.